I started working on another project today. Oh man, I meant to clean this crap out. So I have a new floor pan for this truck, and I've already got it kind of fitted up in there, and it's got a few parts that need massaged in a little better. I need to fix that. That's not a part of that floor pan. They don't really sell that part. And right there where it goes in is actually where the that hole right there is for my seat belt. The seat belt, there's like a capture nut underneath there and a bracket, and the bracket has pulled off of the firewall there, or the frame rail there. So I need to make a new bracket that's nice and tidy, get it up in there, and weld it in real good, because that's my life. So that needs to be addressed before we go any farther. But I'm gonna fill in those holes. That should be easy sheet metal stuff. That's nothing complicated. But I put this in today. Everything underneath there is gross, so I'm probably gonna do a time lapse of. I got this Pour 15 stuff. It's rust inhibitor, and we're gonna go through and do the old 3 steps. The degrease, metal prep, and then you get your whatever that stuff is. It's like a rust inhibitor. It changes it from rust to, I don't know, changes the oxidization to where you can it stops it or whatever. I don't know. It's some kind of, wizardry involved in this. So cool. Yeah. Anyway, we got that going on. I'm going to get started on this. Oh, and another thing, I always gloss over the things that I do. I put in a radio, and actually, does radio stuff too. And I kind of like this thing. Show you what we got going on. Oh, and I put in a blower motor. So we got all kinds of good stuff here. Put in a nice little radio here, which worked out really well. Put in a new blower motor, and my gosh, that was a whole thing. Getting the wiring for that kind of stuff right was insanity. There was a lot going on with the blower motor. So the things that I did get wired up, that was easy. Turn signals, brake lights, all that stuff. That was pretty easy. The ones that I struggled with was like wiper functions, and I just got that done. And the heater. So the heater has this whole like resistor, for low, then there's like a medium, then a medium, and then a high. And that whole like first 3 steps that you take goes through a resistor here on the outside. So you're actually sending power out first and then back to the heater controls. It was extremely, well, it was new to me, so it was extremely frustrating trying to figure that out. But a lot of schematics and trying to, read through forums of people talking about, just picking up like little bits and pieces of people who have had problems, and then they described it, and then I'm like, making my notes and how to figure it out. So anyway, I did ended up figuring it out, and I got to show you this guy too. This is pretty sweet. Somebody had made, so when you put in, a V8, you have the valve covers always interfere with your HVAC system. Well, somebody had made this little connector here to go from the blower motor over to your HVAC inside the car, the truck. And I was replacing this because it was squealing. It was really nasty, and I thought I could hear some leaves in there, so I bought a new one, put it in today, and then I took this out. And when I pulled this out, because me and my daughter were freezing to death when we had drove it previously, when I pulled this out, there was a huge rat's nest, man. I mean, you ain't seen one like this before. It was stuffed in there so deep, it was the size of a basketball, and there's not even that much space in there. So when I pulled it out, it got bigger. It was crazy. So that was in behind here. But then in these, so in here and in here, there was like little tiny openings. So you see how big this is? Well, they only cut the openings out like this big. So today I sat with a little rotary and just ate it away until, you know, we got a big open. So now we're getting a lot of air going through there. Hopefully keep me warm, man, because I am frozen. It is like 20 some degrees out. It's been snowing. So anyway, that's where we're at today. I've already gotten started on this. I meant to kind of show you guys, but I've been slacking. I've been making good progress, so when I make good progress, I don't film. I know that's terrible, but that's what happens. So I didn't cut out the actual floor. What I did cut out was what they had welded in there. So like half of this floor still here on this side, and then they kept like putting in little patch panels, and then they'd weld like, so there's a patch panel welded to a patch panel, and that comes up here, and they're all goober welded together. They're kind of goofy. So I just I cut the patch panels that they had put in out. The original floor is still underneath here, on this side down here, and I think I might get away with just treating it, and I think the way you see it right now, I think is how I'm going to put it in. I'm going to treat all the rust. Number one, we're going to use this kit. Like I said, I might try to set up a camera and show me doing it, but we're gonna treat all that rust underneath there, and then I might come in and just you know, obviously I got self tappers in there to hold it in, gives it its shape, but I might come in and clean up the metal and then like zap it. And when you're putting in a patch panel, man, you don't, especially on interior, you don't need to like go crazy with the welds. It just needs to hold its position. It doesn't need to be like super crazy. So just like, you know, every 6 inches, give a good tack, you know, a place that's going to have a little bit more you know, a little bit more traffic where your feet are sitting. Maybe you put a little bit more there, but honestly, you really don't need that much. Just you know, put a little tack every 6 inches or so. You know, something good that's going to hold. And then we're going to go through, and after you're done, we get a little seam sealer in there. You don't want moisture making its way up from outside the car back in, and then you got water up in your interior, and it gets in your carpet, and you know it's going to rust out again. So do yourself a favor. I know this stuff, like this kit, I got seam sealer in the Pour 15 kit. It was $50, you know, and the little patch panel was $60 delivered to my door. So I got $110 in that. The little bracketry and the little patch panel over there, you know, I'm gonna throw something together from the scrap pile. So there's nothing there. It's just time. So honestly, this is gonna be a pretty cheap, you know, $110 fix. And it looks good, you know what I mean? It's going to look good. And then after we get this filled in, me and my daughter are going to come in here and put in Dynamat type stuff. You can get some cheap on Amazon anymore. And put Dynamat down, and then we'll lay the carpet and put it all back together, and, you know, it'll be good to go. So hopefully that is the plan. Now, I can't tell you that's what's going to happen for sure, but that's where we're at. So tonight we're going to do the rust treatment. We're going to get to that, and then I'm going to let it, you know, cure and dry, whatever it's got to do overnight, and then maybe we'll get to working on the welding tomorrow, and maybe I'll do some camera work then too. We'll see.